I may be wrong, but I don't think a lot of Americans know what kimbap is. So today we're going to make this video to teach you guys what kimbap is and how to make it. Kimbap is a Korean traditional lunch food that means rice wrapped in seaweed. So you can put whatever ingredients you want inside of there, and these are just the ingredients that we chose to use. So obviously we're going to have our seaweed wrap. We're going to have some cooked rice. I'll show you how we prepare that in a little bit. 2 cooked eggs. Carrot that we softened up on the frying pan. Some cucumber that we added some salt to pull away some of that moisture. Imitation crab. Pickled radish, which is unique to Korea, or I guess Asia. And then some ham. So we have kimbap ham here. However, you can use any sort of ham or lunch meat that you can get your hands on. Then we have lettuce, any lettuce that you can get, and a simple tuna salad. So mayo and tuna mixed together with seasonings, and then the ever crucial rolling mat. So you can get this at any store that sells sushi supplies, but it's going to make your kimbap look so much better. So for this kimbap roll, I added garlic to our rice and some other seasonings, but you can do it just plain up white rice. And we're going to fry up our egg, and then we're going to cut it up into strips. So we cut it up into strips like this for the integrity of the roll. If you rolled it up or made scrambled eggs, it just wouldn't come up very right. You want consistency in the entire roll. So that's why we're going to cup our carrots the way we're doing it. So we're going to rough julienne those carrots, and we're going to soften them up on the frying pan with a little bit of oil. Maybe you're going to salt them beforehand too. And you're going to do kind of the same thing with cucumber, however you don't need any heat. Just take away some of that moisture with some salt. This is really important because you don't want a wet kimbap. You want to keep it relatively dry. The next step is to prepare your crab. So we have some kimbap crab. That's essentially just imitation crab, kind of just strips. Do your best to try to find something similar. You might be able to find it at your Asian market. So akin to that, we have kimbap ham. I like to put it on the stovetop for a little bit to get a little bit more flavor going on with it. So for the tuna salad, just really basic. Just take some mayo, mix it in with some tuna, canned tuna. Drop in some seasoning, whatever you want. So that's all of our ingredients. This is just our twist on it. My sister-in-law likes to put bacon in hers. She's born and bred Korean. And she throws in those American ingredients too, so you don't need to be traditional to really do it the right way. So here's how I roll up my kimbap, and this is how I put it together. You got 2 sides of the kim, which is shiny side and less shiny side, so you're going to put the shinier slick side down onto your rolling mat. You're going to take about a handful of rice, and you're going to want a cup of water on hand because this rice will stick to your hands if it's dry. And you're going to want to spread that rice across the kim and leave about a thumb knuckles worth at the edge there, so that you have something to stick kim to kim on at the very end of your roll. Next, we're going to drop this special ingredient, Mexican style cheese. So you're going to want to get relatively hot rice, whatever your hands can handle, and you're going to drop that cheese on top of there so that the cheese melts a little bit. Then put the egg on top of there to kind of hold it down. This is one of the only ingredients that you have enough width there to hold the cheese down so it doesn't get all messy. And what I like to do is I like to create kind of like a bed of protein. So we put our ham there and then put our carrot on top of the egg, which is being wedged in with the ham too, and toss the cucumber on top there. So there is a little bit of method to how I roll up this roll. And as I said, we're going to make a bed of protein, so we're going to put that imitation crab underneath that, and we're going to toss the pickled turnip on top of that. So then for the tuna, we're going to wrap it inside of a lettuce wrap just to keep all the mayo, tuna juices in together, and also to maintain an integrity for the roll. So if you don't put the tuna inside anything, it might fall out once you cut it. You don't want any of that. You're going to have a bad time. So how I roll this kimbap is I create a vertical tower of our ingredients and I squeeze that onto itself. And that's going to maintain a kind of tight roll. And then at this point, I get my fingers wet and I wipe it across that unriced portion of our kim, and that's going to create a stickiness that's going to bring our roll together. At this point, once you roll it over on top of itself, you're going to want to remove that rolling mat and use your fingers to pinch down onto that bed of rice that we've created, and then roll it on top of each other and get that unriced kim to stick onto the rest of your roll. And you should have a relatively well-rolled roll right here. I'm a novice, so bear with me, but I think I did a decent job. And while you're cutting your kimbap, what you're going to want to do, very important, is wet your knife. I forgot to wet my knife earlier and I destroyed a roll, so keep that in mind. And when you're cutting, don't do the rocking motion like Food Network, Bobby Flay will tell you. You want to saw through this thing as pretty quick strokes so that you cut through, because if you do the rocking motion one quick slice, you're going to have a bad time. So here's the finished product. If you have access to these ingredients, please give it a shot. You don't need to use this video. There's plenty of other videos on the internet, but this is more to show our friends and family kind of what we've learned in Korea, but I highly recommend trying to make your own kimbap. It's a good time and it's awesome. Additionally, please check out our social media. We have a website as well. All this stuff is going to be linked in the description, and you can also see those links right here on screen. So please check those out, and we're going to be posting weekly updates about what we're doing here in Korea.